Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. It's been 20 years since I last discovered an author that I liked.
Well, my son, that was very naughty. Say 12 Hail Marys, 14 Our Fathers, and give us a rousing chorus of Bohemian Rhapsody.
But Bohemian Rhapsody doesn't have a chorus.
Well, for that you get an extra 20 Our Fathers, and don't do it again.
Hello, welcome back to my channel. In this episode I'm going to be doing a proper book review, and it's very exciting because this book represents the first book in probably decades that is a brand new book written recently this year, and I liked it. Now, if you've been watching my channel, you know that I tend to prefer old books. I like books that were written from the Edwardian era up to the 1980s, possibly the 1990s at the outside. But really, my comfort zone, my sweet spot, is the mid-20th century. And I've struggled, as you know, to get to grips with modern books, to have that voice in my head that says, we're in. So I'm delighted to inform you that I found a winner, and it's The Dead of Winter by S.J. Parris. Now, that's a pseudonym for Stephanie Merritt, who is an English critic, feature writer and author, and Stephanie Merritt is a fabulous writer. I really like her writing style. I like her author's voice, I like her descriptions, I like her dialogue, I like her stories. Everything about this newly discovered author excites me. And the book that I read, I downloaded the sample, as I said. I steamed through the sample and immediately bought the rest of the book. And it's a short book. It's only 219 pages, I think. And it's 3 books in one, although by my reckoning, it's a short book with 3 chapters. That's the only way I can think of it, although the individual books are available to buy separately. I can't see the point. The first one's only 60 pages long. But The Dead of Winter is 3 books, and it comprises The Secret Dead, The Academy of Secrets, and A Christmas Requiem. And these 3 books serve as a prequel to a whole set of 6 books, 6 full-length novels, which Stephanie Merritt, aka S.J. Parris, had previously written, beginning in 2010. And the 6 books are Heresy in 2010, Prophecy, Sacrilege, Treachery, Conspiracy, and Execution. These books are set during the years of the Inquisition, specifically the Roman Inquisition, which was slightly different, a little bit less strict than the Spanish Inquisition. But the Spaniards were very much in control of things during this era. It's the 16th century, the mid-1500s, during the reign of Elizabeth I. So if you were in England, it would be a Tudor book or an Elizabethan book. But here it's a Renaissance book set during the mid-1500s, and the star of the books is a real-life historical figure called Giordano Bruno, and I apologise for mangling his name. I can do Celtic fantasy names, I can speak black speech, but I can't quite handle Italian, so I apologise for that. When I say black speech, by the way, I'm not being racist. I mean Tolkienian black speech. Ashnaz the Bartaluk, Ashnaz Gimbartal, Ashnaz Thrakatuluk Akbarazim Ishi Krimpatul. That sort of thing. But I can't do Italian, unfortunately. I can swear in Punjabi, though. Now, As I say, Bruno was a real-life historical figure. There are actually many real-life historical figures peppered throughout these books, but Bruno is the star of the story, and he was a scientist, a philosopher, an academic. He was a genuine genius. His immense intellect and contribution to human understanding cannot be underestimated. However, for the purposes of this book series, he's young and dashing, slightly arrogant, slightly cocky. He's a likeable young man, but at the same time quite unpopular among his peers due to his poorly concealed heretical views. So when we first meet Bruno at the beginning of the prequel trilogy, he's a young friar-in-training in Naples, Italy, and this is a dangerous and treacherous world filled with corruption and hypocrisy that goes right to the very top, to the Pope in Rome. The first book begins with an illegal autopsy, and this was a brilliant way to hook me as a reader. I was straight away, almost immediately, the voice in my head said, "We're in," because Bruno, this young, arrogant friar-in-training, follows one of his superiors to a secret room where this guy is dissecting a recently murdered young woman. So the first book really drew me in and hooked me with immediate graphic autopsy scenes and scenes of violence and brutality and fabulous descriptive detail, fully immersing me in the stench and squalor and decadence of the Renaissance era Naples underbelly. So book 2 follows on directly from book 1. In this book, Bruno gets to meet and make friends with other people of a like mind. A secret society, if you will. It's a secret academic society. They've got a secret meeting place and they've got a secret library full of banned and forbidden books. And in this place, they conduct experiments and they grow their intellect and they grow their knowledge and they discover things. It's a place of true learning, true experimentation and discovery. It's very exciting. It's Bruno's wet dream. And then book 3 follows Bruno on a trip to Rome. He's summoned to an audience with the Pope. And of course it's a trap. He's in trouble. He's been grassed up. He's been ratted out. And the Pope, by the way, Pope Pius V, I'm pretty sure it was him. Before becoming Pope, he was an inquisitor. He was the chief inquisitor. I think that's the correct term. The Pope used to torture people in order to get them to confess to being heretics, even if they weren't. He would torture them until they said what he wanted, and then he would kill them. He was a mass murderer, a psychopath, as pretty much everyone in the church was in those days. These 3 books, or chapters as I prefer to think of them, are a beautiful prelude to the main body of work, which I've already started reading. I downloaded Heretic, the full version, and I've already read the first couple of chapters and I'm loving it. And these are really, really well written books. They're really good. They're a really good introduction to the world, a really good introduction to the characters. They're beautifully written. The descriptive writing is gorgeous. You really feel immersed in the world, and the characters all feel three-dimensional, even though it's a really short book. And I now know, having read it, that it is possible to do. You can write a short book and still make it feel like an epic. It doesn't feel rushed. The only small criticism that I have is that in books 1 and 2, the destruction of the main villain in each book isn't properly explored. It kind of happens off camera and you hear about it as hearsay rather than actually witnessing it or having Bruno be any active part of that. But that kind of gets fixed in book 3. Bruno is much more involved and you actually get to see the villain of that piece being taken down. For the first time in at least 20 years, I've discovered a brand new series of proper books that I can get my teeth into and fully enjoy the experience of addiction. So I hope you'll stick with me and follow me on this journey as I discover a whole new world of literature which up until now has been eluding me. And on that note, I think I'll call it a day. Thank you very, very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did and you haven't already, you know what to do. Please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and I will see you next time. See you later.